we've passed arguments from inside the routes, but how do we pass arguments from the address bar? Most commonly passed URI param is the ID. So for example, let's just say /1 to the home page. That ID is normally passed to the model. The model retrieves data from the database that matches that ID, and the data is finally passed to the view to be displayed. That's too much right now, I know, even though we'll get there. For now, we'll just pass the ID directly to the view. So let's go ahead and create a route. And this time, we'll name it Dino's favorite number. Callback function. And that function is going to return a view. It's called Dino's favorite number. And just like before, for the time being, we'll pass an ID and we'll pass the number 42. Let's go ahead and put a semicolon there. We're also going to have to create a new view. So the view that we that we'll be calling is called Dino's favorite number.blade.php. Let's go ahead and put in our HTML5 snippet. And for title, Dino's favorite number. And inside the body, we're just gonna dip into PHP right away. And we're gonna say, right here, we're passing a key ID. So we're gonna say if the ID is equal to 42, then we're going to jump out of PHP and just do this pure HTML. You know Dino very well. Else, we're going to say you know nothing about Dino or life in general. You stink. Alright, great. We have the ID, but we haven't passed it from the URL. So first thing we're going to want to check to see is, A, does this work before we move on? Let's go ahead and do that. And because we passed the ID 42, inside here, if ID is equal to 42, you get, you know Dino very well message. So how can we pass the ID, like for example, if we wanted to do something right here, like 42, which is going to throw an error right now because that route is not found. How can we do that? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's actually stupidly simple. So we're just going to put a / right there, and we're going to do curly braces. And we're going to say, we can name this whatever we want, but we're going to name it ID. And then in our function, we're also going to name this ID, even though it's not necessary, as long as it matches the correct order. And now that we have an ID inside this function, right, so we're passing it from here to there, and now it's visible inside here, we could just say, hey, go ahead and pass an ID. So if we go back now, and if we refresh this page, you'll see that this route is no longer found, because the only route that we have defined is one that has a / afterwards and something like an ID. So we'll type in 42 and it says, you know Dino very well. If we type in 41, it says, you know nothing about Dino or life in general, you stink.